I think there was I don't know how I feel about the part where they go to Tokyo. Um, Part of it was like I was like immediately when we meet the girl, the
Hmm.
daughter, she's like doing martial arts and stuff like that, and it was like, can we not do anything else if we're gonna be in a movie? Like, does that
I
have
mean,
to be martial arts?
to be fair, everybody knows how to fight in these movies.
Yeah, but she was like, but they were just like throwing punches and stuff. Like she was like, she had like a sword or like a.
She had
Actually, I
a
don't
like
really
a
know.
baton or something.
Yeah, and I was just, I rolled my eyes there for a little bit, and but then I was like, you know what? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. But what I did like about that scene was that it was, that was when I was like, I'm really glad that they did something different from the first movie, which is to give, more for the women to do,
Yeah.
and it was kind of like a subtle nod to have like the three main character women fighting together in one scene
Yeah.
together without the guys, and they were just
And
beating up the guys.
they did it without like calling attention to it. Like,
Exactly.
the, you mentioned it, and I didn't even realize that actually was a big deal. Because like everyone talks about that shot in Avengers Endgame where they're just like, oh yeah, look at all of our female characters. But this is one of those examples of how you could do it and just have it be subtle and just have people still being able to enjoy themselves.
Yeah, actually, I didn't really think about it until like later,
Hmm.
because I was thinking about the first movie, um, because I
Yeah.
knew we were gonna, like I knew that I would probably bring it up, that I had seen part of it and how much I didn't like it, mostly because of that reason, which is how they treated the women. And so I was glad that they had more of a female presence in the sense that they were actually doing things. And it wasn't until like we started talking tonight where I was like, actually, that one scene, it was about the three girls, and I didn't even really like register that that's what they were doing, which is kind of just highlighting three badass women in one scene.
Because it was natural.
Yeah, because they weren't shoving it in your face like, hey, look at our females. It was that they were the way the movie was written was for them to just happen to be there together, and they just happened to have this fight scene.
Yeah. So, and one of the things I liked about it, like, I definitely think you have a point. I'm always wondering about action movies because usually in action movies, everybody knows how to fight, but it does feel strange where, every time it's an Asian person and they know martial arts. I will say at least Han didn't know martial arts. His like fighting style just seemed kind of regular, like just haymakers. But what I did specifically like in that scene was that the three of them had different fighting styles. Like you got the sense that Michelle Rodriguez's character Letty is really like a brawler, like that she really felt like she was street fighting, like she grew up on the streets fighting, and this is how they fight. And you got the feeling that Mia wasn't really a fighter, which is why she's just grabbing everything she can to hit the person with. She's just grabbing, pots, pans, silverware, whatever she can, because she doesn't really fight. She knows a little bit, and she might have got into a scrape or two when she was a kid, but she's not like Letty, who's like really in there. And then this other girl who we haven't seen before knows like more like MMA, like kind of official moves and things and how to like, grapple and judo a body and everything else like that. So as far as storytelling goes, I like being able to have fight scenes reflect story in some kind of way. And I thought that having each of these women have different ways of fighting was a nice way of also giving backstory about where they grew up. So I was like, that's kind of cool to me.
Yeah, I wish we talked about that in the actual recording.
Yeah.